Ed Mosher, does that work?
Uh, I don't know. Let me say it again.
Well, my name's Ed Mosher
Yeah,
from
it's record.
Indiana.
Let me put the earphones on, and then I can tell for sure. Okay, Ed, go ahead.
Well, my name's Ed Mosher. I'm from Indiana.
Okay, it's working.
And,
It's working fine. So go ahead. Thanks.
all right, like I say, my name's Ed Mosher. I live in Indiana, north central Indiana. I was actually born in California on an Army base in '68, and things. My dad was in the Navy, retired out of the military. Um, we moved back here to Indiana to the home farm, which has been in the family for over 100 years anyway, and it can run back to the Civil War. Both my grandfathers had decent arrowhead collections, artifact collections. My grandfather on my mother's side had a large collection, and he was big into artifact hunting. And I actually started collecting when I was 5, and things, and I continued collecting. And when I was in the 4th grade, I always had a fascination with it. And I actually made my very first arrowhead when I was in the 4th grade, and things. And I found a piece of chert on the railroad tracks and used a railroad iron and kind of beat it out and what have you to a real rough shape, crude looking thing. And a little bit later, I was at an artifact show with my grandparents, and I found the first edition, I believe it was, of the art of flintknapping, and in the 4th grade. I picked it up and studied it day and night, and continued on, and I was making artifacts, making arrowheads and things out of the stuff we find in the fields here, the flake.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, like I say, my area, we don't have any lithic material, so I was down to just finding flakes in the field and working basically broken, rough stuff back in the day. In '88, about the year I graduated, I ran into Dan and Aaron Lincoln, and they started kind of showing me the ropes a little bit. They'd been out and they started doing a few of the nap-ins and things around, and they got me kind of pointed in the right direction for a little bit of stone and things. I ran into Jeff Pig at a rendezvous. I used to do a lot of historical events, rendezvous and everything, and I was still chipping some even then, and things. I got to know Jeff pretty well, and Jeff got me kind of hooked up with some chert coming out of Kentucky, some of the creek chert, the Mulder chert and things, and that's where I started really cutting my teeth on the bigger points and things. I kind of took to it pretty quickly. At that point, everybody was using all antler tools and everything. There wasn't hardly anybody at that time doing
what it looked like here.
copper tools.
This
and
isn't
things.
the
There's
coarse
a few
stuff
guys
like we're used to seeing in the
copper,
U.S.
and things, and they were using copper pressure flakers, but mostly it was antler tools back then. And that's just kind of the way I always done it, is with antler billets and things. I did use copper pressure flakers and what have you, but I don't know, I just never was able to get myself to go to the dark side of copper back then.
What year was that about?
What year was that? That was about in the early 90s.
Uh-huh.
That was about 90 back then. 88 to 90. I went to, let's see here, my very first nap-in I attended was with Jeff Pig and things. And then that was earlier in the summer of probably '89, I'm thinking. And then I went
I got
to
started,
Flint Ridge.
didn't realize it wasn't
That
taping and
fall,
it kicked me off. But we're
over there
skinning
when
this
they had
piece
it
of
at Mason
Georgetown flint
Campground.
here. This piece of James about has a
That's where I
crack right
met
here, I
up
see.
with Gene Stapleton and
But we'll get back in here and see what we can come up with.
all I can think of is
Hopefully that doesn't go too much further right here on that crack. We'll see what comes out here in just a little bit. So we'll get back and start skinning this off
hang out
again.
with them every chance I could at the nap-ins and things.
Moose antler here.
Matter of fact, not Steve Burns, but Gene Stapleton took me under his wing, and he actually took me out my very first rock run down in Texas. I spent a week with him down in Texas and things, and Gene, he was wanting me to move down there, and he wanted to teach me a lot more about the flint napping, but I just couldn't. I was working construction up here, and I just had a brand new baby and everything. I couldn't leave.
We'll stop it here for a little bit. We'll work on the other side and see what we
get
going.
On my own ever since, just experimenting and everything. Just, like I say, picking up rock wherever I could, and hitting a few nap-ins here and there, and just going through the tonnage back then. I used to go to St. Louis and go to Flint Ridge and dig rock, both places, and used to pick up some rock at the nap-ins when I was younger, and things, and just started to advance out from there. And things. But yeah, that's pretty much everybody's story, and things. I just took a few steps further, I just went off the deep end of flint napping. I mean, it just absolutely consumed me. I even seen it in my dreams, man. I dreamed of village sites, and I mean the smells were real, and the people were real, and it was just like I was there. Believe it or not, man, it was. I mean, it was just like I was standing right over top of an ancient fellow making a point, and things. And that's kind of the way it worked out, man. That's the way my everything started with my eccentrics. I seen pictures of them, but I didn't have any clue whatsoever how to go about making them or anything. I thought they were cool. Like I say, I just had a wild dream, and I watched a guy make one, and in my dream, and I just went out the next morning and just sat down and made one.
Wow.
And you Danish daggers.
Yeah, you told me the Danish dagger story where you dreamed about it. Tell us about that.
Tell you about that. It was kind of weird. And things. I was in a Neolithic village. I mean, the smoke was there. I mean, the thatched roofs, and things. The sounds were real. You could hear voices in the back, off in the distance, and everything. It was just like I was right there, And I actually, in my dreams, I watched a guy do a dagger, do the percussion work and do a little bit of the punch work on the handles and everything, I mean, it was vivid. And I had never seen anybody do a dagger, never. I'd watched Mike Stafford back in the early 90s punch flake and axe. And I only seen just a little bit of that in the really early stages. Other than that, I've never seen anybody do anything like that. And like I say, it was vivid in my dreams.
Wow.
And I woke up and went out, and I made one. I made a Danish dagger. It was stitched, everything. It was about 6 inches long on a piece of brown pedernales. Wow. And I wished I had that back, because it was a fine stitched dagger. It was only stitched on one side. The only thing it didn't have at that time was much of a squared up pommel. And things. But yeah, it was right there and things. And I've never looked back since.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, I'm actually looking at the one of the Keokuk daggers that I got from you right now, just so I can get kind of a 3D, perspective. Pretty amazing.
Well, I think that Keokuk dagger, I think, was one of my earlier ones, and my very first daggers I started doing, when it comes to doing the stitching on them, I was just pressure stitching, man. I was punching in the sides, getting the median ridge, and then coming through and pressure stitching down the median ridge, down the center.
Right.
And then later, I got to watch the Waldorf and everything, and I got Waldorf's books, and he said, no, you got to punch that center seam in there. Everything was punched in. And so I started punching them in, and that's where your picture come in at, that phase, and I got pretty good at that.
Hey, Ed, you're kind of cutting out. Do you want it? Okay, now it's working. Okay, go ahead.
But yeah, I went right back to doing the pressure stitching on the seams, and I'm getting way better results. I'm getting really nice, tighter stitching and cleaner stitching now, and that's kind of the way I'm going with them. The only time I center punch a median ridge anymore is when I got to remove quite a bit of mass off there that I don't like. But I've got them down to where now I can stitch in a pretty flat cross section even, and things. I'm still struggling with getting the stuff over, and I want to make it aware because I've seen nothing but pictures and everything. I've seen a few authentic ones, but man, the stitching on some of those were just absolutely incredibly fine, and things. And those are the boys I'm chasing there, and it's kind of rough because here in the U.S., people don't want to buy those daggers with that fine stitching on them. They want to see that coarse, robust stitching like Michael Stafford and some of them are doing, and things. So yeah, it's kind of a double-edged sword there a little bit, but yeah, I'm chasing the old boys. I'm trying, and things. I don't know if I'll ever make it, but I'm trying.
Have you been in contact with any of the like the Danish nappers or Swedish nappers or any of those guys?
Oh yeah, I talked to them quite a bit. Morton, Johan over there, Sophus. Actually, Sophus, in his senior year in high school, actually came and stayed with me a week, and now he's studying Danish archaeology over there, and Sophus is becoming one of the greats over there.
Wow, that's incredible.
Very young, and things. But there aren't too many dagger makers over there in Scandinavia now. There are just a few of them that I know of. Most of them are into the core technology and the square axes and things. And so I don't know. Hopefully it'll pick up over there and what have you. But as far as I know, they're still looking for the dagger lithic sites over there, dagger production sites, and what have you. They found axe production sites, but as far as I know, they haven't found any of the dagger production sites over there.
Yeah, when I was talking to Michael Stafford, we were talking about whether it would be like one master and then a cottage industry promoting him, or him doing it on his own, or her, whoever, whatever. And like he said the same thing, like they just really don't have a good lithic scatters or production sites to back up any theories at this point.
Yeah, yeah. Now I can do a nice 10-inch dagger in about 4 hours now.
Wow.
And things. And the archaeologist over there, it's kind of rewriting it over there because now those aren't ground pressure plate blades. That's just all percussion with really nice pressure work over the top of everything.
Uh-huh.
I can do in about 4 hours now from start to finish. So those guys over there, they're starting to think maybe there weren't all that many, dagger production sites out there and things. That maybe there were just a handful of guys, that were actually doing a lot of the dagger work. And of course, it's going to be tough to tell because the only way you're really going to know you're on a dagger site or not is by the stitch flaking and some of the preforms and what have you hope to find there. Other than that, you really don't. I mean, there's really no telltale signs of that's going to be left.
Uh-huh.
And so yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting to see in the next several years and things. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, they're starting to rethink things a little bit, and they used to think it took days and days to do a dagger. Not really. On a few of them, yeah, if you're doing that fancy grinding and stuff. But even on the grinding that I've seen from over there, they weren't grinding the blades like we think they're grinding them. They were just coming in and knocking down some of the high spots and everything. They weren't grinding those blades completely smooth.
Oh, I see.
Like people think, and things. I've been studying the Hinskagel dagger,
Uh-huh.
and everybody says that was ground, and I don't think that it was. If it was ground, I think only the outer edge of it, outer third of it was ground and things, and that was it. I think